You're It's finally here, y'all. Now, welcome to Conversations with Nash, right? So, first of all, I'm Nash, and this is episode 0. So, I'm gonna just give y'all a little background on what the podcast is gonna be, what it's gonna be about, or what I hope for it to be about, what I envision. First and foremost, I consider myself a creator, not a major content creator or anything like that, but I'm into photography and just a lot of visual stuff, camera work, stuff like that. But I think there's fundamentally a disconnect between people and creating. So my goal is to bring together as many people, not necessarily creative people, but people that consume content. So pretty much every and anybody, and get their take on the world and what's going on in their lives, because it's one thing to create and it's another thing to actually create, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like um everybody's content has a story behind it, and I just want to get to the story. So my story is, when I was younger, I was always into photography, but I got sidetracked because when I went to high school, they put me in a culinary program, which actually turned out good for me too, because I'm a very good chef. But after like a year in the culinary program, I switched and I went back into the photography program, into the Communications Art Academy, which it was called back then. And I learned a lot, and I didn't learn anything. It's kind of a conundrum, because everything that I learned I had already knew, but that's fine too. So fast forward, after high school, I went to Long Island University also for photography and communications and media. And it's mad quiet in here. And yeah, so since then, after college, I really didn't do any camera work, any photography, any modeling, anything. So recently, I got back into it. I got my equipment. I started just taking a bunch of random photos, doing a bunch of random videos, and now I want to see everyone. I want to know everybody else's process, because I know my process, and I think in order to get better, you need to learn. You need to learn from people, not necessarily like higher up people, but regular day-to-day people that's basically on the same level as me. So what I'm going to do with the podcast is I'm going to bring on people that I admire, or people that I see working towards a goal, whether it be photography, audio, chefs, cooks, artists, painters, anybody that I see with a creative aspect to their lives. I'm gonna bring them on, and I'm gonna just ask them what's going on. But that's the basis of the podcast. There's gonna be a lot of other things entwined with it, because a lot of people has asked me about certain aspects of my life and like how to make money and stuff like that. So I'm gonna incorporate that too, but not as much as just diving into creative work. Other than that, I think that's everything. I think that might be everything. So this is episode 0, Conversations with Nash. I'm just trying to find out what's going on. Episode 2 is episode 1. Yeah, episode 1 is basically going to be the first episode where I'm going to bring on a guest. I have a couple guests lined up already. So the first one is going to be a good friend of mine named Brandon. He's a creative. I wouldn't necessarily call him a director, but he has a couple visions, and he does audio, does music. So he's gonna be the first guest, and then from there we'll just take it from there. Other than that, I'll see y'all next week. I'm gonna try to do this. I'm also try to do this like try to post a podcast every Friday. That's the goal. Don't hold me to it. So, but hold me to it, but don't hold me to it. Like ask about it, but if I tell you that it's not coming out, just don't be mad. You know what I mean? Yeah. But all right, cool. Comment below anybody that you think will be a dope addition, or somebody that you would want me to interview. Well, not necessarily interview, but somebody you want me to have a conversation with about their creative style, their creative work, and I'll look into it and I'll get it done for y'all. Other than that, I'm out.